Well, hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining in on this edition of Tribe Collective. And I'm doing a series giving 5-minute answers. I just take questions that people send in about the faith, about life, advice, and different things of that nature. And a couple weeks ago, a good friend of mine sent in a question that said, what do I do when I feel I am not receiving from anything, from church, from small groups? I just feel like I'm not receiving fresh revelation. I'm not being fed. And that's a common question we hear all the time. I'm not being fed. What do I do about that? Now, all I can say is that for myself, in 20 years of ministry, I've preached over 1,000 sermons. I have been to Bible college and got a 4-year degree. I've studied the Bible ruthlessly for 2 decades. And I can say the same thing. If I go to church, if I watch a sermon online, or if I'm at a Bible study, chances are it's pretty rare that I'm going to receive something new or I'm going to see something I've never seen before. I mean, when those moments happen, believe me, it is out of this world, and I love and I relish those things so much. But for the majority of the time, I'm not getting fed. Now, if you are asking yourself that question, I'm not getting fed, then I believe you fall under 2 categories. Number 1, you're a baby Christian that just got saved and you don't know how to feed yourself, and therefore you're relying on other people or other things to help nourish you. And that's perfectly normal. An infant needs milk, and we see that in the scriptures. In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Paul talks about coming to that church and saying, you know, you're still not mature. And you should be on meat, but instead I still got to give you milk because you guys are still babies in your faith. And the same thing is true. And there's nothing wrong with being spoon-fed revelation and being trained up and discipled and mentored when you're a baby Christian. But if you're like myself, a 36-year-old, and if I were to walk into the room with diapers and having formula in a bottle, I'd probably get locked up. You don't want to remain in that state of being an infant. You want to grow and mature. Now, eventually, you're going to get to a place like myself and many others who have been Christians for decades, have studied the Bible daily for decades. And you get to a place where you've acquired a lot of knowledge. And when you go to church or a small group, a lot of the times it's meant for new believers, or it's baby Christian type material, or it's very basic elements just to spark up discussions and so forth. So you're not really getting fed. And so here's my advice if you feel I'm not getting fed in your walk, whether you're a baby Christian or you're a seasoned Christian who's gotten a lot of information, a lot of revelation over the years. If you're a baby Christian, my advice to you is to get a great study Bible. I highly recommend the Life Application Bible. My personal favorite edition is the New American Standard Bible, but that's more of a very literal translation. I would go with an NIV or a New Living Translations, but the Life Application Study Bible gives you great timelines, a great commentary that breaks down the scripture, character analysis, so many good things in there. It's just a wonderful Bible. I still refer to that Bible to this day because it has such great things in it. So if you're a baby Christian, get a Bible like that, get into it and just slowly learn. Watch sermons on YouTube. Go to church as much as you can. Get in a small group, and I highly encourage you. I pray that your church is set up in a way where they pair young Christians with seasoned Christians to walk them through all the changes and all the circumstances they're going to face as a new Christian. So if you're a baby Christian, get as much as you can in your heart. Just gorge yourself on biblical information and knowledge and study. I mean, we're in an age of technology where everything is literally in your phone. You can look up verses, you can have Bible apps, you can go on YouTube and type in whatever topic you want and say topic and then sermon and get a plethora of sermons. So gorge yourself on that. But if you're a seasoned Christian and you still feel I'm not getting fed, I want to challenge you to become a mentor for a new believer. I want to challenge you to take risk that you've never done before. I mean, bold risk that'll make you feel embarrassed if God doesn't show up. I want to encourage you to, maybe if you haven't gone to Bible college, go to Bible college. Or if you have a bachelor's degree, go to seminary. Or get yourself a textbook or something meatier that you are typically not going to find on like a Christian living section in a bookstore. You know, challenge yourself to go deeper. But most importantly, if you're a seasoned believer, you more than likely have gotten a lot of good revelation stored up in your heart. You could probably teach better than a lot of the pastors that are out there today. So that means you have to do more than you actually are going to receive. when you're a seasoned Christian. And sometimes feeling fed, feeling alive is actually doing something and seeing the fruit and seeing God come through, and it awakens your heart like nothing else. Nothing makes me come alive more than when God uses me in a powerful way. I feel so alive when I serve people, when I give to people, when I help people understand things. It's one of the whole reasons why I'm doing these type of videos, because I love teaching people. I love pulling people up. I love challenging and pushing people into their calling. And so if you're a seasoned believer, start a YouTube channel. Start a small group and raise up some people, mentor some teenagers that are in the youth group and help them walk through some certain things. I mean, do something that goes beyond just simple, easy study of the scriptures. And I can guarantee you, you're going to find some awesome things. So I want to thank my buddy for sending in that question. And as always, here's my email address. You can send in questions. I got a few in the back burner right now. But every week, I just want to throw out some 5-minute answers and bless you guys. And let's see what we can do together. God bless you. Have a wonderful week.